in several ways. The team that we played, in their own way, are champions. I mean, you watch those two that were just here. I mean, they embody this league in the most positive ways. And they're coached by the winningest coach, and to me, a guy that every year does an exceptional job. Great fans here, so I want to give credit there, but I also want to recognize, I think this was our year. I think that this team that I came into was a very, very special group. And all year, you could just kind of see the escalation. But I think everything they did from the time I met them was culminated tonight. I mean, nothing that we did satisfied them until tonight. You know, and I think that's a very special group that feels that way. When I got the job in October and I talked to them, I could sense it. When I saw them in the off season, wherever they were, I felt it. And they continue to believe in themselves and improve themselves and use a year as a gauge to get here. And this particular game tonight, you could just see all kinds of little plays. You know, a coach, when he's coaching the game, there's a couple times you either see your team make a play or you see the other team make a play and you say to yourself, you know what, we're going to win this game or we're in trouble. But there were several of those plays today. And I'll tell you one that probably nobody here knows. Sue Bird is out on the wing guarding. Ariel Atkins put the ball down. She literally ran to the edge of the lane to get that. And I said to myself, you know what? When you've got your leader making that play, probably going to be a good result before this thing's over. But so many people to point to. Sue, obviously, but Stewie was just amazing. She truly was the MVP of this league. She truly was the MVP of these finals. God blessed me with an opportunity to coach her. And I will be forever grateful, because she is just a very special player in so many ways. But there's some untold stories here. Alicia Clark, to me, embodied Seattle basketball. The way she guarded, the way she went to the boards, the relentless nature with an intelligence about her. Amazing. And Sammy Whitcomb. Sammy Whitcomb battled, moved up the ladder in the playoffs and really, really impacted this basketball team in a big way. Jewel Lloyd turned her game from a scorer into a complete player. She helped us in so many ways and different things that we did. So many others, but this was a very special team. This is a special night for them. And I just couldn't be happier for the result of their hard work.
Dan will begin front row left.
Dan, congratulations. I remember a conversation we had just after the lottery when you did not get Breanna Stewart. Obviously, that was a long time ago, and it was also not so long ago. And I wonder how often you've sort of thought back to the many things that had to happen for you to go from that just about 3 years ago to today.
Boy, I thought about it a lot. You know, I mean, you get to a point in life where you think you know what's in the future, and then sometimes, you know, you have no earthly idea what's about to happen. And the one thing I will always treasure is when this opportunity started to develop, I looked at my wife, and she looked back at me, and her words were, "You got to do this." And boy, that was profound beyond belief, because being a part of this team, and I'm so happy. One of the first things I said to Sue Bird was, I want to be a part of a team that gives you another chance to win a championship. And I remember when I took the job, I flew to see Jewel Lloyd, I flew to see Stewie, and you could see the three of them had a bond that was going to develop, and develop it did. And to coach Stewie is just, you know, I have been blessed to coach, and some of the players I coached through the years contacted me today. Somehow, I hope they feel a little of this too. because I've had so many players give me so much heart, so much work. And this moment I will cherish, but I will also cherish the relationships of those players in all these years that I've coached.
Second row left.
And Dan, you mentioned earlier about a play here and there that you think, well, we're going to win or we're in trouble, but they close it to single digits, and then Stewie gets that 3-point play, and then Natasha gets it up, and you're up 10, and you address the importance of that sequence. And was that the point where you thinking, we're going to win this game?
Yeah, I know I did. I did. You know, they're a quality team. They're going to come at you. Then the question is, what are we going to do with it? But Stewie has immense talent, but the toughness, that's the part that I absolutely cherish. And Natasha Howard, what an incredible story to me, and the way she realized that opportunity and what she did and how she blended with this basketball team, because a lot of this team was the same. I come in, Natasha comes in, but the way that she just blended with it, and such a huge part of this result was Natasha Howard.
Center, last row.
Coach, congratulations on winning the 2018 WNBA championship. My question is in regard to the first half, especially with the front court when Natasha Howard, Breanna Stewart, and Alicia Clark. They were their three-point game was on point. I think it was 8 of 9 threes that they were making. Could you give your thoughts on how they played in the first half to break the lead open against the Mystics tonight?
Well, it's interesting because if you watch the evolution of this team, they kind of went from, okay, we got some talent, to, okay, we're a pretty good team, to, okay, now we're in first place. And now there's going to be some tough games down the stretch. What are we learning? I went right back to the last series we had, because that series with Phoenix was really important for us. Really important for us in a lot of ways. We won the 2 games, went on the road, lost 2. And I remember saying to the team, maybe there was a reason we had to go on this journey to understand how tough it's going to be and what we're going to do. And when we got to that moment, I thought, okay, here's the chance. Did we learn something? You know, are we going to play to our strengths? And they did. And they did. And we had learned something. And this is a team that constantly was looking to learn something that could help them be a champion. Champion they are.
Down front row to the right.
Yep.
Coach, Breanna Stewart was dominant all series long. She had 30 points, 8 rebounds in this game. Natasha Howard had a double-double with 29-14. Alicia Clark, 15 and 9. All 3 of them were dominant. They're a young front court unit. Looks like this team might have the makings of a dynasty.
Well, I think, you know, we've got some work to do. But if you're asking me, have we hit a ceiling? No. There's still growth in this team, you know, and they're within. Now we were very fortunate health-wise, you know, and I think I remember talking to Greg Popovich, and I tried to pick his mind about championships. And one of the things he said, you got to be lucky, you know, you got to be healthy, you know, and you got to have your players that you need at that point. And we were blessed to be a healthy team in a lot of ways. But yes, I think. You haven't hit it. This team still has potential, I think, to stay or even greater from where they are.
Our Seattle players are on their way, so we have about 2 or 3 more questions. We're going to go first row left.
Dan, just specific to Stewie, to have someone, and she seemed throughout the night like she had been here before, which in many ways she has, you know, though not specifically a WNBA Finals, but somebody to win her first at 24 and to be, you know, in place, it seems like there's an inflection point in the league here, which we haven't really seen since Maya won her first, let's say at 22. Do you see it that way, and do you see us at the cusp of something significant here?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because in the course of the game, I happened to look down the other side and just down a little bit, and all of a sudden there's CD and Gino sitting. And I knew how well she was coached. And I knew she had not only been coached, but had been in these moments. And that wasn't lost on me. Trust me, that was not lost on me. But I think, you know, they put a lot of work in to get here. If they continue to work in a way to get themselves ready to do it again, they're going to be a team that has a lot of potential to be in the group. And if we can stay healthy, you know, we'll be one of the teams that will have a chance to do this again.
Second row to your left.
Coach, you know, the bench and the starters get a lot of attention. You get a lot of attention as the head coach. Can you talk a little bit about your connection and the importance of the assistant coaches in this
Absolutely.
championship?
Gary Kloppenberg, defensively, all year, when I came in, I asked him to stay with me, and I said, I want you to do the defense, and we'll work with it. And I want to tell you, you know, and I love the fact his father, and they share a similar philosophy, and I had read his father's book. Gary had so much to do with the defensive end. He had so much to do with bringing a presence to me that made us better. And whatever, and I watched all year, because we were a team that offense had some gifts, but defensively we got better, we got better, we got better, we got better. And it was a gradual thing, but that's when I knew we were going to be a special team. But please know, everything defensively that we accomplished and did, it was highlighted by him. Crystal Robinson, I asked to come with us. I had played against Crystal, and Crystal brought, what I think this team got was some grit and some toughness. She brought that in the players' relationship. And our player development coach, Ryan, an incredible job. I mean, right up to yesterday, I'm watching him out on the court squeezing every moment he had from them. Amazing staff. Trust me, and I delegate a lot. That was my posture, that where I'm at in my career.
We'll begin third row to your right. Third row to your right.
I guess I'll start with Sue. Sue, this is the third time you've done this. I mean, what is it like at this age to have done this, and how does it compare with your earlier ones?
There's probably no comparison, to be honest. You know, obviously each is special in its own way, but this one is probably going to have, I don't know, just a different meaning for me because so many reasons that we already know, right? Like, who knows? I didn't know if I'd even be playing at this point. You know, our team went through a rebuild, and yes, I decided to stay. And once we got, you know, Jewel and Stewie, we knew we would get on the other side. But how do you know you're going to get on the other side this fast? You know, we had some great additions along the way. Obviously, one sitting to my left. So it's incredible to be sitting here right now. I was just saying this earlier, and I really believe it. It kind of just came to me. It's like, this is probably going to be one of the defining moments of my career. You know, to have, you know, played however many years I've been playing, to have won in all these places, but then to do it at the end and in such a way that was different from all the others. It's really incredible. And I mean, Stewie and I joked, I don't know if I should even say this, but at the start of the season, we lost to Phoenix at home, and we were like, oh crap. Like, what kind of year is this going to be? You know, because it just didn't, we hadn't clicked yet. But pretty quickly, like a week later, we actually turned it right back around, and then, you know, onward and upward from there. So you just never know. So to be here is incredible. Such a fun team to be around, such a fun team to play with, and I don't know, we did it the right way, and it just feels really good to be sitting here right now.
To your left in the first row.
Congratulations to all three of you. Stewie, one for you, and Sue, one for you. Stewie, it seemed like you were playing as if you had been there before, even though this is your first closeout WNBA Finals game. I'm wondering whether it felt that way to you, and how much you think what you've done leading up to it is why it felt that way.
Yeah, honestly, it didn't feel like my first WNBA Finals closeout game. I think, you know, the way I looked at it was just another game, and you know, one game leads us to what we've been working for 4 months, excuse me. And just having that mindset, you know, obviously we went on our run, we were up early, we were up at halftime, but we knew DC was going to come back. Obviously playing on their home court, they were going to make some shots, do some things, but it was how we countered that when things got close, when things got to 8. Sammy hit some big threes, Sue hit big threes, you know, Tosh was all over the place, and that's what really separated us again.
Stay in the front row to your left.
And Sue, just, you know, as someone who has seen the ebbs and flows in this league, for Stewie to come in and do this just after turning 24 all the experience that she's had, do you feel like this is sort of an inflection point for the history of the league?
What do you mean?
To have someone as young as she is, already be as accomplished as she is, and now to have that championship under her belt.
Well, yeah, it says a lot about Stu. You know, I think coming into this season, she really just changed her mindset. You know, she had goals, specific goals. And yeah, she had some individual ones, but I think she knew those individual goals, winning MVP, you know, being dominant, or as dominant as possible, that was going to impact the team positively and probably lead us to where we are now. So I think it just speaks to Stu. I mean, obviously the kid knows how to win, you know, so even though it hadn't been the WNBA yet, she clearly knows what it takes. And sometimes it just takes a couple of years to really figure out yourself in this league, because it's a very tough league to play in. And now here she is, she's figured it out. And it's probably going to get a little harder from here, to be honest, but I think she's ready for it.
Second row to your right.
Natasha, you're actually celebrating a championship the second year in a row this year as a starter and as a huge contributor. Can you just talk about that and the opportunity that you've had coming to Seattle?
You know, the opportunity that I had with Minnesota, playing behind great players as well, learning behind some Olympians, and you know, bringing it over to Seattle as well. It helped our team a lot with my spring being in the final for the past 4 years and also winning the championship last year. You know, helping our teammate out, and also with Sue, she had the experience as well. It's just amazing. It's just a special group.
Second row to your left.
Yeah, Natasha, again, kind of playing off that, Chrissy Tolliver said that this group here reminds her of what Minnesota had when they made their run and started their dynasty. Is that something you can kind of see going forward? I mean, Coach Hughes said the ceiling is not, you haven't hit the ceiling yet as far as talent-wise and accomplishment for this team.
Well, you know, I'm not going to compare us to Minnesota. We Seattle Storm. But yeah, like, we just, like I said before, we special, and we still have a lot going for next season as well. And during the off season, we know we all gonna put in the work and constantly keep developing our game and just keep growing as an individual.
First row to your left.
Stewie, how much, because you were jump-started with USA Basketball, so you were playing with these guys before you were playing with these guys, how much, you know, did that really help? You know, used to be here. And the second question, the last time we saw you win something as a youngster, you made a couple guarantees. You ready to make any other statements?
You know, I think playing USA basketball at a young age, being a part of the national team when I was still in college, that was huge. Obviously, you know, being able to learn from the vets like Sue and Dee and the rest of them, and kind of just showing me the ropes of things. Made me aware of what was going on in the league before I was actually in the league, and kind of what I needed to do, especially my senior year, to make sure I was ready to go to the league and make an impact. Second question, we're just gonna enjoy this one right now, and we'll talk again come next season as far as expectations and goals.
Just a couple more questions, and to your left, second row.
Congratulations. Who's going to be the first person on the team who's going to be calling you guys up early in the morning saying, hey, let's hit the court and get ready for next year?
What?
Get some days off
Can I enjoy
first.
this for
Right,
fun?
can I get some days off?
Stewie, from the second you've entered this league, you got to learn from one of the greatest minds sitting next to you and Sue. What have you been able to pick from her brain over the past couple of years that's gotten you to this point so quick?
Yeah, you know, I think when people ask me that question, you know, what I've gotten from Sue, I say everything, and it's honestly true. You know, on the court stuff, off the court stuff, you know, the way her basketball IQ is like no other, but the fact that, you know, what she does for her body, and I've kind of just tried to mimic that, you know, especially this past year, you know, working with the same person as her and just really focusing in on how can I make sure that I'm prepared every single day, whether it's practice or games and that type of thing. And now, you know, doing that, it makes you want to win with her. And obviously, when I came here as a rookie, I wanted to win a championship with her. But it's easy to say that. It's not as easy to do it and do it at the level that she was at.
Second row to your right.
Breanna, you guys had a big lead most of a good chunk of the game. They get it into single digits. Then you guys were able to push back. I think it was like 8 straight points, and you get the lead back up. What turned for you guys at that point, and what did it sort of say about your mindset that, hey, this is over, we're going to put this away?
Yeah. You know, we knew at halftime when we were up, whatever it was, 16, 15, whatever it was, that they were going to make a run. They were going to make a push. You know, they're not in the finals for no reason. You know, obviously DC is a great team, and you know, what they have going is going to be exciting for them in the future. But when it got to 8, we were calm. You know, we had a calm presence about us. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. She told us in the huddle that, you know, it wasn't going to be easy, basically. And it was just how we reacted, how we countered that, and we knew, you know, we got to this point for a reason also. And it was game 3 of the finals, and we were going home with the championship.